Hi, me again. Okay, so alchemical transmutation process number two, dissolution. It is the mercury process. So it's in the next chakra up from the Muladhara, which is the Swadhisthana. You're in the Swadhisthana chakra, which is the realm of water, which is perfect because dissolution. Dissolution chemically is to dissolve. So just you take the ash from the calcined product in the first step, which is you, essentially. You and your life turn to ash, and you add water. Water being depth and darkness and emotion. It's kind of the kicking you while you're down step, which isn't necessary evil. It's not awesome, but it's helpful. Um, Dissolution is you realizing how fucked up your life is and how you fucked it up. That's the key. Accountability for your action and your involvement in the causes that led to the effects of your life. Um, it's important that you get this. If you don't get it right, or if you want to hold hands with your ego and pick him back up, and you guys move on together, you're gonna have to repeat steps one and two again. If you don't do this right, you will go back to calcination. Like it'll go right for a little bit, but it will fuck right back up. So yeah, there's that. Dissolution is the unconscious process of acceptance through emotional release. The skeletons have all come out of their closet, and now we must face our guilt and shame. We must acknowledge our part in the events which led to our calcination and hold ourselves accountable. Only then can we begin to put our lives back together. You've already destroyed your ego publicly. You must now polarize his destruction with private acceptance. You found humility in the ashes of your old life. Now you must use this newfound strength to dig through the rubble and discover the fire's point of origin. Where and why did everything begin to burn? That pivotal moment when you made a choice that led you astray. Maybe it was bad habits learned from your parents. Maybe it was greed. Maybe it was succumbing to oppression. Maybe it was ambition. Maybe it was following orders. Whatever it was, find the source and deal with it. Nothing after this point works if the subconscious realignment is not made correctly. This step does not work if we blame others for our misfortune. If we have to accept if if we have to accept our own inadequacy, we have to learn how to do that gracefully. Um, we have to admit that we fall short in the twisted version of this step you can get from church. This is the part where they tell you that you're born into sin. Um, and yeah, but they don't really define born and they don't really define sin. So if you take that literally, you did nothing and all of a sudden you suck at life. But sin is really just separation, and separation is illusionary. So you can always overcome. Um, but even that is half-assing the process. Even accepting that you were born into sin, that's definitely half-assing it, because the way that they describe it to you is like, you're guilty of the sins of your forefathers and da da da. And kind of it's just twisted. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you carry the DNA of your ancestry, and yeah, they're karma too. But it's just the way that they explain it sucks, and it's really misleading. You cannot blame your inadequacy on the human body. Um, that's not only the opposite of admittance and accountability, but also irrelevant to the choices that you've made. You cannot wait for some perfect savior to come excuse you because of your ignorance. That is spiritually stagnant apathy in the making. The human body is not forcing you to embezzle money from your workplace or cheat on your spouse. Your DNA has never compelled you to tell lies. These are choices made in microseconds, which have effects that last lifetimes. The truth of the matter is that we are our own undoing. We make tiny decisions all day long, and these are all causes to larger effects. Dissolution is that moment after the tower crumbles and the dust settles and the fires are put out. Dissolution is the emotional reaction to the destruction and devastation that surrounds us. With this soul searching step, the spirit will just replace the skeletons with emotions and forever keep a full closet. If we skip this step, without this step. The reason for the emotional release is to allow ourselves the growth that comes with forgiveness of ourselves, our own forgiveness, us forgiving us. Not so much forgiving other people, forgiving ourselves for the choices that we've made in emotional reactive states or in ignorance. But you must first acknowledge your part in the choices that you've made and how they've led to causes which lead to effects. So step one, acknowledge that you suck and it's your fault and everything that is burning around you is because of you. And then feel however you want to feel about it. Feel remorse or feel regret or feel shame or feel guilt or feel whatever you want to feel, but definitely do not block out these feelings. Acknowledge, express, interpret, observe these feelings. It's a crucial step. The longer you hold it in, the weaker the rest of you becomes. They say that holding a grudge is like holding an anvil above your head. And the longer you hold it, the heavier it gets. And then forgiveness is like putting it down, it just feels good. It's just a relief. I can't even tell you how much it is a relief. I mean, you don't never have to talk to the person that you have in any type of, grudge with or whatever. You forgive yourself for what you did to them or for how you cut them off after they did what they did to you or whatever. You just forgive. And it doesn't mean you have to call them up and tell them you're sorry and do your, what is it, fourth step or whatever, AA. You don't, that's not what dissolution is. It's, it's a good way to express that you're going through dissolution and a solid way to, create causes, but it's not required. All that's required in dissolution is that you feel, that you let the floodgates loose and that you understand your emotions and understand that you are the cause of all the effects in your life. After the fires of calcination have shown you that you do not know what you need, and the waters of dissolution have shown you that you can't hide from who you are, then it's time for the third step of the alchemical process, which is separation. We'll get into that.